Let me bring in our senior investigative correspondent, Drew Griffin. Drew, I mean, you and your crew reported extensively on this, shedding light on veterans, deaths, delays at VA facilities across the country. The question is this: is Bernie Sanders' admission that he missed deficiencies, will that be a problem for him down the campaign road?
Down the road, yes. It's doubtful that he will hear much about it from his fellow Democrat Hillary Clinton, because uncomfortably, that would also raise the lack of leadership about the Democrat in the White House, who's also accused of sleeping on the job when it comes to this whole VA debacle. But as you mentioned, Brooke, should Senator Sanders become the actual Democratic nominee, you bet his record in the Senate and on that VA committee will be fair game.
Bernie Sanders was chairman of the U.S. Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs during the height of the VA waitlist scandal. But critics like the founder of the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans Association says you'd never know it.
For far too long, he was apologizing for the VA. He was refusing to acknowledge the severity. He was positioning it as a smaller issue than it was, while veterans were dying waiting for care.
Paul Rykoff says Sanders had to be ignoring what was happening just across the Capitol in the House, where the House Veterans Affairs Committee investigators were digging up records, swearing in whistleblowers, and exposing the massive scandal.
Chairman Sanders was at the helm during the biggest scandal in VA history. So the question for Bernie Sanders is, where were you? Why didn't you conduct more oversight? Why didn't you get to the bottom of this? Why didn't you listen to the veterans groups who came forward and said this was a problem?
Republican senators on the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee were so troubled by the lack of oversight, they sent this letter to Sanders complaining our nation's veterans do not deserve to wait to receive their benefits and or needed health care services, adding this committee must conduct aggressive oversight to ensure they receive the care they need when they need it. Sanders did finally hold a hearing in May of 2014 at the height of the scandal and after CNN reported about secret wait lists in Phoenix. He acknowledged there were problems, supported an independent investigation, but also praised the VA's handling of 200,000 appointments a day and for delivering quality health care to our vets.
And one of the concerns that I have, to be very honest, is there has been a little bit of a rush to judgment. What happened in Phoenix? Well, the truth is, we don't know, but we are going to find out.
He later appeared on CNN that same morning, again cautioning against a rush to judgment.
Did the delay in care of these people on the secret waiting list actually cause these deaths? We don't know.
2 weeks after Bernie Sanders raised that question, the scandal reached its climax and VA Secretary Eric Shinseki resigned. In his resignation speech, Secretary Shinseki apologized for the nationwide scandal, acknowledging exactly what the House Veterans Affairs Committee and what CNN had been reporting for nearly 2 years, that in the VA system, some managers were hiding months-long waiting lists of veterans seeking medical care.
Brooke, Senator Sanders eventually did come around, get on the bandwagon, and help pass a VA reform bill, but critics say just too little too late. He should have been on this from the start of his chairmanship in the Senate.
All right, perhaps he'll get some credit for that, perhaps not. Drew Griffin, thank you so much.